development, which is the process by which a single cell develops into a fully formed organism. That's probably the biggest mystery in biology. There's so much more to understand about that process, and we just haven't figured out everything. The zebrafish is a great model organism because the embryos develop outside of the mother. So we can study development, we can study how an organism forms from a single cell to a fully formed organism.
Early developmental processes are very similar between a human embryo, a mouse embryo, and a zebrafish embryo. So by studying this process in zebrafish, we can basically understand what's happening in a mouse embryo or human embryo. So basically, you can identify genes that are potentially involved in a disease in a human and try to understand that function in vivo using zebrafish as a model.
Zebrahub is a set of imaging and sequencing datasets that basically span the development of the zebrafish embryo. Really what we're doing is biological cartography, and so we build microscopes. The reason why we develop new microscopes is because we want to push the horizon of what's observable. Light sheet microscopy has been a powerful method to be able to see faster, deeper, and at higher resolution inside of living organisms. You basically have your zebrafish embryo, and you traverse it with a sheet of light. You move that sheet of light throughout the zebrafish embryo and create a 2D image. And by combining all these 2D images together, you get a 3D image. We developed the Dashi microscope that you see behind, and that instrument was really instrumental for us to be able to create an atlas of the zebrafish development. But also, we need biologists and physicists and computer scientists to work together to create a molecular readout of what is happening in the cells that are actually building that organism.
The transcriptome is actually the roadmap that the cell is using to do its regular function and help during the development. Basically, the molecular identity of the cells. With Zebrahub dataset, we have a very deep information about the molecular identity and extremely good tracking, so being able to track the cells, to reconstruct the roadmap of the cells during development. So we develop software to visualize the data, we develop tools to do virtual experiments, and everything is available online. Zebrafish have a lot of genetic similarities with humans. They share like 70% of the genome in common with us.
And actually many disease genes that cause trouble in humans also are found in zebrafish. There are so much that we can learn from these embryos that is very relevant and very applicable to other species and in particular our own. I study fish because I want to study myself.